hoping that they get these nades to get at least one kill on the planter. And now we'll see the execute in from Singularity. The smoke wall, traditional over on this A bomb site. Norot caught behind that smoke for now. And, well, they'll fake the plant to start things off. And actually, that could come back to bite them. The rotations hadn't come in from AVEZ. The utility can get lined up now and potentially deployed. But no, none of it's left the hands of AVEZ. They get the plant down, no problems whatsoever. And they've got the flank on Remoy as well. He can make things so much more difficult now on this retake.
Oh, Remoy, he hasn't been spotted. He's making a bit of noise, but it just isn't enough for them to know. And this bomb is ticking away. It's taken so long. Remoy is going to be able to come in behind, completely unravel this. And Nikodos is taking the first duel, distracting them long enough. Remoy comes in from behind. The two CTs inside the smoke are finding themselves trapped, and nothing will come off this extended retake setup that AVEZ went for.
Yeah, that did not seem like that was supposed to be the way things played out for AVEZ, considering the utility. And it's good that you point out the fact that they don't go for any sort of information play. There's a lack of it from the CT side, because when it comes down to it,
nades?
they threw. I saw at least one smoke. I think there was two down, but the flashes, the nades.
No, but I mean, did they throw the nades to start the bomb planter?
No, not even that.
Strange.
Indeed. Very, very peculiar. But a cold start for AVEZ's CT side is always a good sign. Singularity are looking to certainly throw an upset in.
Moonlight peeks out. That's K to fall, and next is Skyler. It's always a tricky situation when you're in a corner with an AK and a Deagle's about to peek you. You can be taken down very easily, but good to see him, hold his ground, even if he does just get away with only 2 HP.
Ooh. Castle, he had a bit of a flank on Norot, but now he subjects that SMG to CT side. And, well, they've got the weaponry to try and prevent this. A bit of utility as well. Looks like they're trying to get a bit more space back on this bomb site. That smoke deployed by Norot actually prevents them from pushing much further in. And planting in that smoke is a dangerous endeavor. Norot could just throw a huge banner in the works here. Going through the smoke, he finds at least some damage on cell rate, but no kill to be found. And they already, again, have a flanking player. They're waiting and biding their time to allow this to come through, because they're losing some numbers. And, well, Remoy will get the refrag in. Thobiz, that's an easy kill to line up, even if it is a bit of a whisper to start. Nice little 2-0 start for Singularity, but already some real signs of weakness from AVEZ's CT side. Even if it is just the force buy, I suppose the respect not being given to Singularity to engage in flanks like that.
Well, AVEZ will this time be on a full eco round. No utility, no shenanigans, nothing really coming in. Nikodos takes down one, but it is just going to be that. CT side, looking for damage, had the deagle, nothing really coming out. Straightforward round. Singularity secures themselves their economy. AVEZ is probably feeling a little bit worried, because why wouldn't you be? Your money isn't going to be great even after this. $2,400 loss bonus. K is going to be sitting around that 4.1k mark. Oh, is it 29? It's 24, right? It's 29. Never mind. I am. Why do we always do this, Yumi? Why do we always do maths?
I mean, it's the first round. It's that extra money.
Yeah.
From losing the pistol. They're trying to mitigate some of the issues. But yeah, it can be a hard one to get out of the habit of, because we lived a certain way of CS for so long.
Yes. The way of the broken economy.
Yes, indeed. Win one round, no money the next round.
Oh well. I mean, technically for the CT side, it isn't that much different.
Yeah, it is very comparable. They get a few more dimes, a few more bells and whistles. Well, they've got the AWP on Marcos now to start things off on their gun round. See if he's able to get some effectiveness out of it. It seemed like they were tempted with the boost and Singularity, going for a bit of mid control, but now they're simply finding themselves out. Utility deployed. Marcos forced off the angle. For now, no real gunfights coming out from either side.
Ooh. That's an interesting flashbang throw by Marcos. I actually quite like that one. That's always the nice thing about maps like Vertigo. There's just infinite amounts of flashbangs that you'll see coming out. Even if that one did seem quite basic. But hey, is this going to be and Nate doing any damage. Doesn't seem like it. The B-side setup from Singularity is going to be hard pressed in finding anything initially. And Bialy is going to take control of mid, and that smoke actually works out beautifully in his favor because it covers off his tracks immediately.
Yeah, a bit of initiative taken there by Bialy, and well, 40 seconds for Singularity to converge on this bomb site. Singularity have actually given a bit more respect back towards an A play, but that rotation could come back to haunt them. Marcos here with the AWP. He has the support of Kai as well, or Kyler. Well, Marcos will get the first point of contact. Kyler still not spotted out, not spammed either from the pillar. He's still remaining elusive, hiding from the flash. Castle posted up on the angle, but I don't think they're going to be able to quite flush him out easily. And well, now it's just Celerate. 1 versus 4, 13 seconds left, not looking too feasible. But he'll still try his hand at it, still pushing further forward, and well, Marcos gets the double kill in the end. AVEZ with their first CT side round.
This is going to be... This is going to be interesting moving in because they actually keep quite a few players alive as well, which is very important for them. Normally, when you see a map like Vertigo, because of how chaotic it is, the CTs will lose at least 3 or 4 players. Well, I say at least 3 or 4, realistically 2 or 3, but... So, the first gun round you get as CT, immediately after that, you're generally very disadvantaged. Now, though, AVEZ is in a great place, and Navro makes it even better. Celerate is the first man to go down, and he is the first kill you want to get if you have the choice. You know, that doesn't happen very often, but still.
Yeah, if you're given the pick of the litter, well, Nikodos will be able to get one back over towards A kill above the smoke with the AWP. And he actually may be given another opportunity at that. Norot going for the jump spot initially, a re-smoke will come through. I don't know if he's going to try his hand at it again. Oh, Nico, yeah, he spots him one more time. And I thought, you know, a traditional sale, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Thought he was going to be able to punish, but nope. No, not quite able to land the shot. Singularity still looking for a bit more presence over towards A, however.
And AVEZ, they still don't know that this is coming in, and they're again playing a very... You're playing a very... I'd say retake heavy, but they're just letting these players get up on ramp. They're not really contesting for this. So you need to at least contest for Ali, but Marcos takes down Dobis as he's ascending up the stairs. It's Remoy to return fire with more than just one. Bialy and Narod to feel the pain, but Marcos to find the bomb and take it down. 2 versus 2 as Castle. Okay. Reasonable. Kyler's got to save the day now. Because of that, he finds the first. Is this going to be a miracle round from him? Yes, it is. Very chaotic, very back and forth, very questionable at times, but hey, it works out.
I can't believe he tries to make that play, jumping through the smoke. I guess he thought the other T-sided player was going to run after him through the smokes as well. I don't know what to make of that, but a great little clutch back here from Kyler, getting an isolated duel to start things off. The swift little headshot, and well, Castle is, oh, his position was no. Great stuff from Kyler to make things a bit more normalized, but I think this is going to be the first time that we've seen Vertigo in the Malta vibes where it's not quite so strat dependent. It seems, at least in the games that we've been able to cast together, quite often we get to see some good executes, some pretty sound play. But right now, it's kind of thrown into a bit more of a scrappy endeavor.
I kind of like it though, don't you? Just get that AUG up close and personal in a 1v2 after your teammate just puts through a smoke. Marcos tries to go for the blind pick, but is going to be unsuccessful. Bialy, although he's good for 1, Dobis being right behind Celerate is not really a helpful situation. The big brother always comes back and gets you. That's what I've learned from my childhood days.
Well, I don't know if I should laugh or be concerned, but either way.
I mean, listen, just don't go trying to hit a kid who has an older brother, okay? That's all you get.
Yeah, well, my big brother could beat up your big brother.
I hope so.
We'll not quite get into a family rivalry.
Dynamic.
Yeah, exactly. A family rivalry, and we'll not introduce that dynamic.
Disputes.
Yeah, not quite there yet. Not quite there yet. And yet to find one of the bomb sites is Singularity. Now the smokes, the Molotovs deployed. Kyler's trying to buy more time for the rotation to come through. And it seems like AVEZ are now making that come all the way back. But Kyler lines them up. Marcos gets the kill. And, well, Kyler shuts it down. He deployed the utility at the right time. He's looking at the right angle as they all emerge through those smokes. And, well, AVEZ, a nice little 3-0 start on their CT side after the gun round.
That's insane from Kyler. Yes, they make a mistake in a bit of a lineup, but when you're going through a smoke, you have to kind of hug a wall because of all the different angles you can be covering from, unless you're just jumping through like you're a madman. But right there, Kyler lines them up really nicely. He knows Marcos is covering him from the concrete block, so he can feel so comfortable in that peak. This is really good team play overall.
And it's not quite a timeout. Instead, seems like a technical issue being sorted out very quickly. Obviously, at the start of the game, better to do it now than when teams are building momentum, starting to feel themselves. Singularity, however, they're going to be chopped down to an eco round. So AVEZ can get a little bit more comfortable. They've had some nice rounds on the CT side. They're building a bit of cash in their own banks. And this is a nice little way to elevate that even further. I don't
know, man.
Yeah, I think I usually put a lot of stake in getting a little bit more aggressive on these CT sides on Vertigo, and I don't know that AVEZ or Singularity are really going to show us much of that in this game. So far, it seems like there's a little bit of discomfort, even if the team play seems to be sort of prevailing.
This is where I am worried, though, Yumi, because RAM control hasn't really been like a major thing. Either Singularity just gets it or AVEZ just gets it. It's not like either team's really trying to go for the spraying with the smokes, trying to go for some nades. The one time we saw it, yes, AVEZ was able to get a one pick and we traded away immediately. But I want to see a bit more of that. But I want to see more of Kyler on the B side. So maybe that's what I want. 3 kills right here. 4th will come back and bite him, though. Remoy with that Tech 9 long range quickly just taps him down. He's Marcos on this bomb side trying to defend with Bialy right next to him.
They haven't been able to get their hands on that org at the very least, so Remoy wants out of there, wants to reposition, see if he can dictate the pace of some of these fights at the very least, do a bit more damage to the CT side, while Celebrate will try his hand. He gets Molotov'd out. It's only that one recovered weapon that could potentially save the day, and I'm going to try to be a little bit tricksy about it. This is almost certainly an AVEZ round. There's a lot that can be thrown away, but I really do doubt they give him too much room to play off of.
Does that AUG have a big logo on it?
It's a paw. It's got like a little wolf on the back of it.
Yeah.
It's got a paw on the side.
It looks like a big logo, I'm just saying. Because I know in Dota that was an actual thing though, like team-based skins were actual things. But yes, we've got ourselves Hellcase, who have their own logo, which is always great to see. They are partners, they are friends. They're the biggest and most known case opening website with almost 100 cases, updated case battle, upgrade, dozens of giveaways per month, and more absolutely unique features. You won't get bored with Hellcase. Use promo codes to save more and grab what you deserve.
Very nice. Very nice to see our partners over at Hellcase once again. But back into a gun round from Singularity. They don't have the AWP this time around on Nico. It's going to be a little bit more hard-pressed to get these opening picks. And while they spread out, search for clues, AVEZ are still playing pretty contained in these bomb sites. Just playing the same style. They're implementing it each and every round. It just depends on whether we see adaptations from Singularity to adjust and deal with it. Kai even getting a bit of an angle around the smoke in through middle. Celebrate just trying to draw attention that direction.
They're using up a lot of time on mid very often, Singularity, and that is the first kill coming up for Marcos. He's got a great angle to Remoy, takes him down by slow peeking outwards. Remoy will be regretting that at this point, but like I said before, mid control not really working out too well for Singularity because AVEZ is playing this super defensive style where they don't give themselves over towards any boosts, etc. Now with 30 seconds left on the clock, though, this A bomb site will be under attack. Navrot, he's got a Molotov. This could be perfect timing, and Singularity could be completely thwarted by that.
Bialy has a Molotov as well, so they can buy so much time, prevent the plant from coming through. just as soon as that gets tapped, you can expect the secondary Molotov to be deployed, but no. They actually extend both of them, trying to prevent them getting up the ramp instead. Singularity now can get that bomb planted, and well, a 4-on-5 as they attempt this hold on this A bomb site, but they are tagged down so low. Accelerated and Nico both on 8 and 9 HP respectively. See if they can hold things down. Castle, first point of contact, is trying to draw attention his direction. Nico is able to get the first, but unable to get anything more. Nico trying his best to dance and use the cover to his advantage, but the HP gives him up. Accelerate will meet the same fate, and well, AVEZ, they keep 4 up and get that bomb site right back.
AVEZ able to clean it all together despite a few shakier retakes earlier on. This time it was much more stable. You got to see the Molotovs coming in that you wanted to. It forced Singularity to use that last smoke that they wanted to use in their post-plant situation. And as a result of that, easy enough retake for them. Like you said, Singularity being that low early on didn't help either. But I really want to see something different from Singularity. It seems like they're going for mid-control again. Or maybe it's just a B-rush. Oh, it's a B-rush straight up. All right, let's see if this works out. Markosh has been really good with Skyler on this angle, so I'd be very afraid if that was on the D side.
Yeah, both the B-side players have been hitting the shots they need to really on the AVEZ side, so you'd think it would be the harder bomb site to rally the troops at, but maybe they can knock these players down a peg. Give the Singularity guys a bit more confidence. If they give Marcos too many open opportunities, he's been hitting some nice and easy shots with this ult. Nothing too difficult thrown his direction, but Skylar distracted with one player, peeked by another. Accelerate able to keep his teammate alive as well and continue finding these entry frags. Accelerate knocks open this B-bomb site, and well, AVEZ, they haven't been cheating rotations early. They haven't been stacking these sites up. They've instead been trusting them to lock things down. Well, everything kind of crumbles. Nora in from behind though.
Navrod's got a great position. He should be able to get past this flag. Finds the first kill. Backs off. Remo is very low too. That's a favorable deal for him. And with this little time left, Molotov will fly in. Remo is dead to right. By that, he goes down. Navrod's forced to use his bullets, but K coming in from the side means Accelerate, who's gotten 3 kills so far, needs to ace it out, but K shuts him down. And the one round where I had mentally prepared myself to end that round by saying, and that's why Accelerate's everyone's favorite Dane on Singularity. But no, I'm sorry, Accelerate, you're still my favorite. But what was that retake?
That is.
But then after, oh my god.
Yeah, how does everything just crumble from there? The kill on the flank, sure, that can be written off to good timings from Norot. You know, it's the unexpected angle, sure. Everything else, though, how does Kai get 3 kills himself? And that is a complete breakdown there as in the 2 versus 5, because that is a round that Singularity should have had with their eyes closed.
They just forced to use 2 smokes to get past onto Ali. Case even still found himself a kill, so that one Molotov has net them a kill and wasted utility. Navrat's trying to do the same, though. In the meanwhile, he's waiting for the Molotov to come in his way. He even mollies out in front of him. That's a very late molly. What's going on, man? Just throw, you know what, I'll talk about that later, because there's still more action. Nikodos is good for 1. Navrat tries to swing out from behind the sandbags to double it up, but K will be left to do a lot. And unfortunately, with the smoke hindering his vision but not his feet, Remoy can pinpoint him and place him out. It's all up to Marcos to take down Nikodos in the back lines, and he does do so, leaving Remoy and Accelerate in a very precarious position. Remoy, though.
Oh, what?
What? What's going on in this round?
I can't believe Kylo's done him like that. He's holding the angle. He slips on past the first time round. Does a double take. Just eliminate. I can't.
That entire round, man.
So this is what I'm talking about. When I was saying, you know, some of the previous times we've been able to cast some Vertigo in the Malta vibes. You know, we had teams like Endpoint. We had teams like Alternate Attacks. You know, which is this map is their bread and butter. You know, we get to see some great executes, some nice little mind games. This is probably the most uncomfortable I've seen 2 teams on one map at the same time in quite some time, because AVEZ are seeming very dependent on their players to just hit the shots they need to and not really preparing for, you know, these little contingencies. And Singularity, they just seem to be exploring their options, and AVEZ aren't giving many of them if there's no strategy behind it.
if Vertigo is auto attacks is bread and butter, these two teams are treating it like biscuits and margarine at this point. Bialy looking to peek out. Markosh with his AWP is going to be good for one. Nice little flick over there to find the player. Mid-air, second one not quite working out, but Kyler always ready to give him some cover fire. K as well comes in from the side. Toba's left alone without much HP to speak of. And you don't really expect much in this round, but I don't expect much overall now because I don't know what to expect.
Yeah, well, Toba's, not long for the world. Trapped in a corner with a CZ and no HP. AVEZ are keeping the ball rolling on the CT side. Now 8 rounds in a row. Hasn't been the prettiest of sights, but we'll see if Singularity do decide to change things up. I do kind of hope that they realize middle control is kind of given up pretty easily. The only real time that AVEZ show presence is when there's utility thrown by Singularity, then they rotate into that position, as opposed to dedicating somebody over. If there is anybody ever posted, it's Marcos. So going for a drier peak or a faster play could certainly work out. Well, Remoy will go for a fast play instead towards B, find that entry, and start things off well for Singularity, a man advantage.
Very important as well when you consider Kyler is 13 for 8 and doing incredibly well. It leaves Markosh very lonely on this side, and although Kay has generally been quick to come to his assistance, this time he makes it even faster. Swings out, beautiful flashes, but they're even more beautiful in his face. Now they're trying to wallbang him, and they will get that kill ultimately. Steel beams can't stop bullets, apparently. And Bialy boosts it up on top. Will be guys, what is this action continuing consistently? CT's just coming out on top somehow or the other. It leaves Nikodos in a 1v2. He's being enclosed on from each side. Molotov goes out. He jumped. What is jumped over the side? Look, I don't want to take away anything from these teams, but that was a clowny round.
Yeah. I mean, just even watching Marcos from his perspective, right? There's a smoke deployed front sight. They're all on the catwalk trying to flush him out, spamming the metal beam. He goes out and peeks them. There's 4 players all posted on the steel beam in close proximity. That could have easily been a 3-man collateral.
He doesn't get any kills somehow. I don't even know how.
I know. This is certainly an interesting one to bear witness to. Enjoyable, most certainly, but not for the reasons you might expect. AVEZ, they're continuing with the spree of rounds. A nade in from Norot. Selright's able to rush him down. Kai in with the trade at the very least. They smoke deployed. This time no Molotov to follow that one up. They hold those pins on the Singularity side, and they're actually trying to flash Kai into a position to take these duels. Singularity, they want to get their hands on that weapon that they've dropped, but it is too far out of reach, and it's been naded even further away.
I'm having a case of the giggles because of he jumped up and dodged. That's like a Remoy takes out. Okay, that's like a bad low budget movie.
Yeah. Like performs the splits above the shot.
Can you imagine if JFK just jumped up to dodge a sniper bullet? But anyhow, enough about that. Molotov goes out. Kyler's already well past it. Flashbang will not be catching him off. He needs to come up big. His AUG's been very precise, but not at this point. Bialy's the first one to break blood, and Kyler follows up, leaving just Nikodos with the Deagle and Dream. He can actually do a pretty good job. That smoke will be going down pretty soon. Markosh does re-smoke it, and actually it'll be finding itself right in front of Nikodos' feet. So Nico will position himself inside it, waiting, pushes through, finds one, turns around. He was in a great position for the second as well, but somehow Kyler knew.
Oh. As a crazy play to go for, but he almost pulls it off. He goes in, slam dunks the diffuser, is able to spin around on the second. Like, this is fantastic timing. He gets him as he's about to tap it. If Kyler wasn't in a good enough position to deal with that as well, that's very winnable.
He gets a second kill too. I didn't even realize he got that. Yeah, that's really well played from Nikodos, and a lot of good damage being done. And remember, this is the round where that actually matters, because if that hadn't happened, then okay, AVEZ on 11, their money doesn't really matter even if you get some Even if you get a quick round win. Singularity. Maybe you can get yourself an easier final round at this point. Just a little bit because of that one round. Still, you need to come out and win this one first, and we haven't really seen much to indicate that they'll be able to do that. Good utility early on from AVEZ does drag them down significantly.
And this can be one of the issues when there's sort of less experience on the map as well. They're playing it a lot more passive, and I mean, AVEZ have been playing passive setups all game long on the CT side, so going for the slower approach, expecting AVEZ to sort of shake things up and get aggressive, it's very unlikely to happen. It seemed like Singularity had to be the ones that changed the pace here.
Ooh. Flashes coming out, they're making a lot of noise with them as well. You're not really seeing the slow and measured walk-up that a lot of T sides like to go for, but now Rot has got a smoke, he's got a Molotov, he'll need to use at least one of them pretty soon. He is forced out of position, he's being very careful not to get spammed down, very worried about that, but he's playing life on the edge quite literally. Flashbang will not catch him out. Nikodos goes down first, he's trying to find the second, but Tobas was expecting the angle. Puts them in a 4 versus 4. CT is slow to rotate, but Marcos is in position to defend Ali. Gets the first kill. Now he needs to go for more, but he is caught off. Celery to take him down. K on the other side, trying to step up and bring it back in their favor. Unfortunately, he gives up a lot, but does get a lot of damage in.
Yeah, 2 and 10 HP on Cellrate and Remoy. Gonna be a really difficult one to hold on to. Another smoke deployed will buy them a little bit more time, but still spamming away is Bialy. These two players, they have kits, so as soon as that bomb gets tapped, you should expect one of these Singularity players to honor it at the very least. Kyler trying to tap it. Cellrate will rattle off a shot. First shot not going to quite hit the mark. The follow-up is good, but both AWPs are able to hit the shots they need to. Singularity, they pull it through. The 2-on-2, it's shot after shot. And, well, they finally stopped that long string of rounds that AVEZ have been able to muster together.
The double up meta, man.
I mean, when you're low HP, it makes sense.
Who said ops are bad against retakes? I know they technically said 4 retakes, but hey, don't tell them that.
4, by, with,
tell.
Just words.
Yeah. All these aspects of ephemeral technology. I don't know random words. Point is, CTs aren't on a great buy at this point. Narod is trying to fix that as he's going through, but he will be spotted out. As the T has also moved fast, but he will be able to get the kill. Narod is going to go down at the end of the day, but Tobas is struggling to choose between targets on mid, and it puts a 4v3 in favor of the CTs. The terrorist side not getting any breaks, and Kyler is about to break them in half. Smoke will go through to defend him for a little while longer, but he catches out the play, can't finish him off. Remoy around the corner from the shelf is going to be able to keep himself safe for a while longer. Marcos smokes him off as well. Kyler could get aggressive, and he might need to very soon if he doesn't want to just go down. But these players have been funneled into his crosshair. He's got 1 to 2, but not the third. Cellrate will fall to Marcos' hands instead. An 11-4. Interesting half all in all.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty apt description of how things go. Just for a kind of a touch of why things went so well for AVEZ, in spite of them seeming kind of unprepared as well, they just had good anchor players to sort of lock down both of those bomb sites, right? You have Kay, you have Kyler, both kind of doing what they do at A and B respectively, and while our partners over at LoopBet seem to definitely be favoring the AVEZ guys. You can understand why. It's been a interesting half, to say the least. AVEZ seeming that little bit more prepared, a little bit more sort of team play going on, but I don't know. We'll see if Singularity can sort of muster their forces, get something back in their favor on the CT side. Castle to start things off.
Oh. I've never seen an odd like that, actually, 1 to 10.
Yeah, there's certainty by our partners.
Kay is reminding them why. Nikodos, however, is telling him he's wrong. 4 versus 3, that could very swiftly go awry. T-side still got all their players with utility left alive, which is an important thing. Nades will be flying through, not quite getting the mark though. And there aren't any nades on the side of Singularity, so they can't stop this bomb from being planted. Bomb will be down, Nara will get away. The 3 versus 4 and the retake is on without a kit.
Yeah, more and more time being bought. Flash prepared by Norot as well, both by Bialy. And, well, Singularity, they have the flank available, but they're waiting. They're biding their time to pull the trigger on it. They don't want it to get spotted out too early. Marco's trying to go for those early peaks. They know Tobiz is there, and so they're going to go for those fights. Norot bringing it equal, Bialy pushing it further, and well, now it's just Remoy. A 1 versus 3 with no kit available. There's too many players, too many angles to check, and not enough time to do any of it, especially with the bomb ticking away. Remoy, he's done the damage. He almost brings Bialy down as well, but the round is lost.
Great stuff from AVEZ. Their nades don't quite hit the mark, but Singularity, unfortunately, in the 4v3 aren't really willing to press their advantage and have their players playing a little bit of a forward position. When you're like that and you haven't killed the players who had utility, you're going to get smoked off and not really have much to do about it. If you have a kit, it can still work out, but without that, it's so difficult to rally the troops together, and unfortunately, they find that out firsthand. Now, though, they need to win this force fight, because a 4-13 scoreline, or, probably a 4-14 scoreline if you end up, losing this. It's not a pretty place to be.
And you kind of expect that these pistols, the rifles and SMGs, will maybe look for some information early on, especially when you've got limited rounds on the CT side. You want to understand how they're positioned in a sort of passive default, how they're going to be approaching these rounds. That could come back to be some information you rely on later on into the game. Nope, still a passive approach, playing the angles, knocking them down, making sure that AVEZ have limited options now moving forward. It's a retake A setup, it seems, for the Force 5 Singularity. While a smoke will be deployed to allow Remoy a bit more room to breathe, a one-way that operates in his favor, I don't think he'll be given the opportunity to use it.
There is only one smoke, though, on the side of AVEZ, so... they'll go for the standard left side smoke and try and take alley control, but if there were more CTs there, you can really punish that really, really effectively. Now, though, this should be the call for the CTs to save on that B bomb site, unless Remoy comes in huge. You need to give yourselves a chance in the next round, realistically, and I wouldn't even mind seeing Remoy run away to try and save, but of course he would be caught out by Markwash in his retreat.
Yep, caught out, but not quite taken down. Remoy is out of there. Going with your advice, goes to save instead. And, well, Singularity will bite the bullet.
Yep.
The stack on B doesn't work out. They're instead just going to hold those into the next round. And AVEZ don't seem too interested in hunting them down. They've got a significant round advantage, but they're trying to establish their own economy. In case things go wrong.
I think it's not even about economy. I think it's more just the fact that you're going into deagles, and if you lose AKs, then you actually give CTs a much better chance of winning the next round. I mean, of course, you'd like to have more money, but let's not forget CT side AKs are insanely powerful. So probably, I really like this decision from them, actually. Both players keeping all players alive. What's next in this game? We see people jumping to dodge bullets. No one's dying in rounds.
Yeah. It's strange to see a 5-on-5 save, so...
Yeah. And one that's also absolutely logically correct on both sides. So, great stuff. No upgrade. Oh, wow. No upgrade from the CT side either. So you're not even going to see them go for extra utility. You're just going to see another stack more likely than not. And this time, they have to go for the retake because they do have a buy in the next round. So, wouldn't mind seeing a bit more aggression coming out. Just try and get lucky. Try and get some deagle kills.
Yeah, try and make AVEZ a bit more scared of this passive play. Instead, make them honor it at the very least. Bialy finding the kill in through middle. There's a response by Remoy over at the A-bomb site. And so this more forward approach by AVEZ, by and large, still working in their favor, but with everything all even, at least player-wise, there's still a lot to be desired. Remoy still locking things down over towards A, but keeping up is Norok. Kyler as well pushes and finds the kill on Castle. But Norok could really cause a lot of issues here. That one smoke deployed, they're trying to fake them out between these two sites. This duel between Nora and Remoy pretty much decides the round. And well, Nora gets the kill, he can deploy a smoke in. AVEZ, they have the option to go back towards that A bomb site, or do they just trust that the rotations have come through? No, they're going back towards A, Bialy left to lurk. And this round is pretty much done, especially with Bialy finding that frag as well.
Cellrate, 1 versus 4. Stranger things have happened, but they don't generally involve winning the round with it. He does have himself a nice little angle to take down Bialy at the very least. Picks up the AK as well, but at this point, saving is going to be very, very difficult. The T's are hunting him down. He realizes where they're coming from. That's a very low player. Navrot should not have an advantage in this position, especially when Cellrate's got this great off angle. But does he realize Navrot's coming in from the side, from all the way from spawn? So, could work out against him. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, one straight bullet, one quick flick. That's all it takes. Yeah. And he'll be able to escape with that AK into the following round. So, you know, we've had our fair share of sort of Pandora's box checklist things in this game. We've yet to see any sort of crazy high multi-frags, you know, no aces, no quad kills, no big clutches. Maybe Singularity can pull one of those out of the bag to keep them afloat, because I think they'll certainly need it. Now back up against the wall, AVEZ on 14, about to get themselves to 15, but there's of course the buy from Singularity to try and quell those ideas. The double AWP set up on the CT side, Tobis and Nico both wielding those for them. We'll see if they're able to get anything done. For now, AVEZ, a pretty traditional setup to start things off, a boost over the smoke as well.
Well, I mean, this is the point where AVEZ, if you want to start getting stylish, if you want to just start testing something out, you got a 10-round advantage. This is the point to do it. Cellrate, though, I like this boost from him because it could catch them off, but Navrot is expecting it. K even takes down Nikodos. Nothing going right for Singularity at this point. Remoy comes in from the side to take down Navrot and just wipe his life away. And there you have it, a 4 versus 3 immediately. Remoy wants to swing out, get himself another one, sees that AWPer, but he can't quite decapitate him yet.
And now it has to be Remoy. He's got support coming on through, but Kyler takes him down very early, and well, with a flank coming. Oh, I thought Bialy might have had the advantage there, but they're clued into his antics. Toba's checking behind, finding another as well with the AWP. He's brought it to an equal affair between the two teams, and so with this bomb not being planted yet, with these smokes slowly beginning to fade, Toba's having that sightline causes so many issues. He's found 3, could have been the 4th, but K shuts him down. Low HP on Castle, but K adjusts in time, survives by a slither himself, and picks up the AWP. AVEZ at 15.
You know, I thought AVEZ would win, but I didn't think it would be like this. Singularity have not really been given a chance to showcase what they're made of. One thing to point out, though, Remoy still somehow has 17 kills and 13 deaths.
Yeah.
I don't know how he's done that, but when you're 19 rounds in and you're down 15-4, having 17 kills is insane. So big props to him, but the question is, can Singularity find themselves any consolation before they go into the next one? Remoy, like I said before, always good for one. Comes up, takes down Navrot, even gets a bomb in the process, so things are looking good for them potentially to at least, bring in another round or two here, maybe.
Certainly a possibility. K moving forward with the AK. First kill found. Instant trade by Cellrate. The bomb exposed to the Singularity players now that that smoke has begun to fade. And while that information may be given up to them, I'm not sure if they were able to spot it out by virtue of the smoke, but at the very least it's a recovery mission for AVEZ.
Question is, can AVEZ bring this together? They've had easy sailing on their T side relatively, but when you look at how split apart Singularity is, this is entirely doable. Markosh, this Molotov is going to be big because Remoy doesn't have a smoke to actually do anything about it. Marcos, unfortunately, doesn't swing out with it. He's expecting a smoke, potentially. Kyler takes Remoy down. In the meanwhile, he was waiting to intercept. Really well played between these players. And though the Molotov goes down, it's returned to reposition cell rate. And that bomb should be able to go down pretty soon. 18 seconds on the clock, and they need to speed things up on the T side. The CTs have made their way over. Flashbang's there to go with the MP9. It push through, gets few. Tobis comes out big, but Marcos is doing the same. He's left without much time. Can he plant the bomb? Seems like he's barely got the time to do it. Will get it down with just a second left on the clock, and he's even got the position for it. What is going on here in this 1v1? Tobis thought he was done with that round.
And now he has to fight back from the ramp. Marcos knows exactly where he can be positioned. He's playing it patient as well. Low HP on him, so he cannot take a straight-up duel. Has to try and play mind games around Tobis, and he's unsure as to where he's repositioned. He could have been flanked back through the short. Could have gone back through towards ramp. Marcos, oh, the tap. He peeks. He takes the scope as well, and took the low ground so as not to be spammed. Tobis pushing further forward. He gets the kill with the flash, but that's it. That's the round. He had no time to defuse.